April was still in the bathroom straightening her hair when I saw it. I was on the couch, scrolling through Facebook, half watching some dumb YouTube video while waiting for her to finish getting ready. The plan was simple: grab burgers from Miller's, then check out the concert at the fairgrounds. Nothing fancy, just something low-key after the kind of week that makes your back scream. I haul freight for a logistics company, and this week I'd done extra shifts covering for a guy who quit. I was dead tired, but I told her I'd take her out, so here I was. Then I saw it. Her post. Ugh. Stuck watching tractor pulls with Mr. No Fun tonight. Someone come rescue me. Posted 4 minutes ago. Tagged at our apartment. The one we'd been living in together for 6 months. I blinked, thinking maybe I misread it. I tapped it, looked again. Nope. Right there, in bold letters, sandwiched between 2 of her friend's thirsty comments about happy hour. I just sat there for a second. Didn't move. My phone screen lit up again from someone reacting to her post. I didn't even register who. My brain was still back on that sentence. Mr. No Fun. That's what she called me? We'd been together for 2 years. I helped her get her current job when she got laid off last spring. I co-signed for her car because her credit was trash. I'd floated her rent twice when her paycheck came up short. And somehow I was still just some boring placeholder she felt stuck with. The post didn't feel like a joke. Felt like a jab to the ribs with people watching. What got me the most wasn't even the words. It was the fact that she posted it while I was sitting right there, 10 feet away. Like I didn't matter. I stared at the screen another second, then locked my phone and stood up. My palms were sweaty, but not from nerves, from anger. She hadn't said a word to me about not wanting to go. She laughed earlier when I mentioned the concert, acted excited. Now she was clowning me on Facebook for it. I didn't feel embarrassed. I felt like I'd just been mugged of my pride in my own damn home. In the other room, I heard the blow dryer shut off. Her voice followed. You ready to go in like 10? I didn't answer. I just unlocked my phone again, opened the post, and looked at it one more time. My thumbs hovered over the screen. I didn't comment. Not yet. But my whole mood had shifted. She thought she was stuck with Mr. No Fun? Cool. I was about to free her up. She walked out of the bedroom like she hadn't just lit me up in front of the entire internet. Hair done, eyeliner sharp, that black top she knows I like. Tight enough to turn heads, loose enough to pretend she doesn't notice. She smiled like nothing was wrong. I'm starving. We still going to Miller's? I didn't answer right away. Just unlocked my phone, scrolled to her post, and typed 2 words under it. Not anymore. Sent. I didn't even look up from the screen. Her phone buzzed a second later. I heard her laugh, like a nervous tick. Then footsteps. She leaned over the back of the couch to see what I was doing. What was that? She asked. I finally looked at her. I figured I'd make it official, since you already made our plans a joke. She blinked like she didn't understand. Then her eyes dropped to her phone again. Another buzz. Probably a comment or like. Her smile cracked. Oh my God. That was just like, me and Jess were joking earlier. It wasn't serious. You know how we talk. Yeah, I said, standing up. I know exactly how you talk when you think I'm not listening. She followed me as I walked to the bedroom. Wait, you're not seriously mad about that post? Come on. It was sarcasm. I pulled my old duffel bag from under the bed and started shoving clothes in it. 2 jeans, 3 shirts, socks, boots. Didn't fold a thing. You said you were stuck with Mr. No Fun while you were getting dressed to go out with me. In my apartment. Our apartment, she said quickly. I zipped the bag shut. Not anymore. She froze. You're not leaving, she said, smiling again. But it looked forced this time. Where are you even gonna go? I grabbed my phone and texted Keith. Cabin trip still on? Not even 5 seconds later. Hell yes. Let's go. I tossed in my charger and a hoodie, walked to the kitchen, and grabbed my meds out of the drawer. Her eyes were following me like she couldn't figure out if this was real. You're not being serious, she said again, arms crossed now. Over a stupid joke? I walked past her and grabbed my wallet from the coffee table. It stopped being a joke the second you posted it while I was sitting in the next room. She rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. And you're being exposed, I said, holding up my phone. All those people laughing along with you? They're about to see how real this gets. I grabbed the keys to her car, the one I'd been driving for 2 weeks since mine was in the shop. I held them out. Here, yours. You're not taking it? Nope, I'll figure it out. I dropped the keys on the counter. What am I supposed to tell people? She asked, voice rising now. That's your problem. You made it their business, remember? I picked up my bag and headed for the door. She followed me to the hallway. You're seriously walking out over one post? You're gonna blow up 2 years over that. I turned back once, halfway out the door. April, if you really thought I was boring, you could have just said something. But you wanted attention. Now you've got it. Then I shut the door. Didn't slam it. Didn't yell. Just closed it like I was clocking out. I called a rideshare to the Greyhound station and kept my phone face down the whole way there. By the time I bought my ticket, she'd called 7 times. By the time the bus left, it was up to 15. Texts, voicemails, missed calls. The last one before I powered my phone off was a wall of caps. You're being insane. Come home now. This isn't funny. She still thought it was about the post. She didn't get that it was everything before it too. The attitude, the way she'd cut me off in front of friends, how I always made the effort while she made jokes. And now she wanted to act surprised? By the time we hit the highway, the city lights were behind me. I leaned back against the seat, closed my eyes, and felt something I hadn't felt in months. Wait, lifting. Keith was already parked out front when the Greyhound rolled in. I stepped off the bus into thick, humid air and spotted his old red F-150 across the lot. Windows down, country rock blaring like we were still 19. He hopped out, grinning, already holding out a cold bottle of water like he knew I was fried. Dude, you really bailed mid-date night, he said as I climbed in. Didn't feel like a date, I said, shutting the door. Felt like a setup. We didn't talk much on the drive. Just cracked the windows, let the pine air blow in, and kept it simple. Cabin was 3 hours out, middle of nowhere Kentucky, backed up against a stretch of woods his uncle never bothered to fence off. No cell towers for miles. It was perfect. By the time we pulled up, the guys were already there. Travis, Nate, and Joel. All standing around the fire pit drinking light beers like some unbothered middle-aged dads. Yo, the prodigal roommate returns, Travis said. Heard you dumped your girl mid-outfit change. I dropped my bag on the porch. She earned it. Saturday morning hit different out there. No traffic, no alarms, no passive-aggressive texts. Just trees, beer, and silence broken by Travis swearing at his fishing line. I hadn't relaxed like that in months. We grilled burgers, cast out lines, traded trash talk, and just let the day roll slow. Then Joel checked his phone. Dude, he said, mouth full of chips. April's going off online. My stomach tightened, but I kept sipping my beer. What now? I asked. He turned his phone to show me. It was her Facebook again. A selfie with dramatic eyeliner and a pouty face. Captioned, Men can't handle sarcasm. Boo-hoo. Scroll. Another one, a text post this time. Guess I'm single now. Hit me up if you want a burger date with someone fun. Wow, I said, setting my drink down. She's really leaning into it. Oh, it gets better, Joel said, laughing. She d'med Katie. Keith's Katie. I asked, eyebrows up. Keith groaned. Yep, asking if I dragged you up here. Like I kidnapped you or some shit. Nate chimed in, waving his phone. She messaged my ex. What? I blinked. Your ex? Yep. Literally said, Hey girl, I know we don't know each other, but I saw you used to date Nate, and I was wondering if you've seen or heard from this guy. Then attached a screenshot of your profile. Keith started laughing so hard he almost dropped his beer. What the hell is she doing? Crowdsourcing a search party? I hadn't checked my phone since getting to the cabin. But now my curiosity got the better of me. I powered it back on. 86 missed calls. Dozens of voicemails. Group texts. Even my cousin Kelsey had texted. Hey, April's looking for you. Everything okay? There were messages from her friends, her mom, her boss, even one from my own damn supervisor. Hey man, just checking in. April's been trying to get a hold of you. Everything all right? You've got to be kidding me? I muttered, scrolling through the madness. She hit up your work? Keith asked, eyebrows raised. Yeah, I said. She's got no shame. The screen just kept lighting up. Every minute, more messages. More alerts. She was in full-blown panic mode now, spraying everyone we'd ever met with half-stories and fake concern. Travis whistled. Man, when I broke up with my ex, she keyed my car. But this is organized chaos. I tossed the phone onto the picnic table and leaned back in the camp chair, letting out a long breath. She's not upset I left, I said. She's upset she lost control of the story. Joel nodded. Well, she's writing a new one now. But damn if she doesn't look desperate doing it. The phone buzzed again. I didn't even look this time. Let her spin whatever tale she wanted. I was right here with a cold drink, a hot grill, and no signal for miles. I was halfway through a beer, sitting on the porch swing with Keith and Travis, when I heard tires crunching up the gravel drive. We all turned. Headlights flashed through the trees. Then a shiny silver Hyundai pulled up next to Keith's truck. Not a speck of dirt on it. Travis raised an eyebrow. That ain't Joel's cousin, is it? Nope. It was April's car. She climbed out before the engine even stopped, slamming the door like she meant to break it. Her friend Laura was behind the wheel, looking like she regretted every choice that led her here. April was dressed like she was headed to some fancy brunch in Nashville, white blouse, designer jeans, wedge heels, the kind of outfit that didn't make sense in the woods, like she was trying to win an argument with fashion. She saw me, and the tears were already rolling before she hit the steps. Oh my God! Finally, she sobbed. You just left. You didn't even say goodbye. Keith stood up, clearly uncomfortable. I'm gonna grab more beers. Travis followed him like it was a fire drill. April turned to me, all wet mascara and shaking hands. We need to talk. In private. I didn't move. Nope. You made it public, remember? Let's keep it real. She flinched like I slapped her. It wasn't like that. You're twisting it. I leaned back and gestured around. Go ahead then. Talk. She sniffled, looked back at Laura, then suddenly flipped like a switch. You're such a child, she snapped. This is why I said what I said. You're boring as hell. All you do is work, sleep, and play fantasy football like some washed-up dad. I stared at her. You mean all the stuff that pays the rent? Or gets you to work when your car breaks down? She crossed her arms, face red. You never want to do anything fun. I begged you to go dancing or out to bars. And you never once came to a game, a cookout, a hike, nothing. If I liked it, you rolled your eyes. So don't stand here and act like you were desperate for quality time. Laura shifted uncomfortably by the car. She hadn't moved since she got out. April threw her hands in the air. You know what? Fine. Stay here. Rot in this little cabin with your little friends. I want you out of my apartment. Like, today. I stood up slowly, beer in hand. Then you better Venmo me for the 65% I pay every month. She scoffed. Whatever. You can't even take a joke? And now you think you're some kind of martyr. Nah, I said. I just finally started listening. She went quiet. Not because she agreed, because she didn't have a comeback that didn't make her look worse. She turned back toward the car in a full stomp, shouting over her shoulder. I'll have your stuff packed. Don't come back without a truck. Cool, I said. Tell your new burger date to help carry it. Laura gave me this wide-eyed, sorry I drove her here look, then climbed back into the car. April slammed her door again. The car backed down the gravel like it couldn't get away fast enough. Keith came out with 2 more beers as the taillights disappeared. She always like that? He asked. Not always, I said, cracking mine open. But lately? Pretty damn close. Travis walked up behind him. That friend of hers looked like she was gonna melt into the seat. I nodded. She should. She just witnessed a full-on meltdown in HD. They both laughed, but I wasn't even mad. Not anymore. It was like watching someone else's drama unfold, just with my name in the script. April thought she could roll up, cry a little, scream a little, and I'd magically cave. Maybe last year I would've. But not this time. The fire was burning low and the bugs were buzzing when Keith grabbed his phone and burst out laughing. "Yo!" he said, holding the screen up like it was breaking news. "You gotta see this." I leaned over. It was April's latest post. All lowercase like she wanted it to sound raw and unfiltered. "Some men can't handle strong women. When they can't control you, they call you crazy." Travis choked on his drink. That's rich coming from someone who showed up crying in wedges to a damn cabin. Joel scrolled through his own feed and found another one. "If he tries to isolate you, control the money, gaslight you, run." Been there, done that. Never again. I just shook my head. "Oh, so now I'm emotionally abusive?" Keith tossed his phone down. "Guess you went from boring to a full-on narcissist overnight." "She really thinks spinning this online's gonna fix it," I said, leaning back in my chair. "She's rewriting the script like no one remembers the opening scene." But people did remember. Comments were starting to trickle in under her posts. Not a ton, but enough to notice. One girl asked, "Wait, didn't you say he was boring and needed rescuing? That's kinda harsh if you really cared." That comment disappeared 5 minutes later. Probably deleted. Another one said, "He always looked out for you. What happened?" Buried under heart emojis and hashtags like #healing and #self-love. But still there. "Man, this is getting good," Travis said. "She's trying to turn you into the villain but forgot we all watched the trailer last week." "She's panicking," I said. "That's what this is." The next morning, Joel handed me his phone again while we were waiting for breakfast to finish on the grill. New post. "You ready?" I took the phone. "Ladies, if he leaves, let him. You deserve better than boring." Same energy. Same cheap font over a blurry photo of a latte and a journal. "She's got a whole breakup brand now," Keith said. "Might drop a podcast next." "She still doesn't get it," I muttered, handing the phone back. "The more she posts, the worse she looks." It wasn't even the lies that bothered me. It was the desperation. She was throwing darts in every direction, hoping one would stick. One day I was boring. The next, controlling. Next week I'd probably be violent. She was trying every label on like outfits, hoping one fit well enough to explain why I walked. But she was too loud about it. Too obvious. And people were noticing. Travis scrolled through his feed. Some chick I went to high school with even commented, "What did you say that made him leave? That one's still up." "She's not gonna screenshot that one," Joel added. I cracked another beer. Still in the same flannel I'd slept in. Boots kicked up on the deck rail. "Let her post," I said. "Let her burn the whole thing down if she wants. The people who matter already know." None of us said anything after that. We just let the morning go quiet again. Birds, wind, firewood crackling. The good kind of silence. My phone buzzed on the armrest beside me. Another tag, another ping, another notification. I didn't even look. Let her keep digging. Monday morning, I pulled into the lot behind the apartment just after 8. I knew April would be at work. She never missed a chance to post her boss babe coffee selfie before 9. I let myself in with my own key. The second I stepped inside, I knew something was off. The air smelled like bleach and cheap perfume. The trash can was overflowing with shredded paper. My stuff wasn't where I left it. Then I saw my jacket. My favorite one, the brown Carhartt I'd had for 5 years, was ripped down the back. Sleeves cut up like someone had gone at it with scissors. It was draped over a kitchen chair like a damn trophy. My toolbox was gone. So was half my work gear, gloves, safety vest, hard hat. Not stolen. Just gone. The only thing she left untouched was the cheap stuff. I opened the hall closet and found my tackle box dumped on the floor. Hooks scattered everywhere. Line tangled into knots. My boots were sitting next to it. Still wet. I picked one up and sniffed. Bleach. She poured bleach in my boots. I stood there, gripping the edge of the closet door so hard my knuckles cracked. Then I remembered the camera. 2 weeks earlier, I'd installed a little motion-detecting security cam in the living room window. Not because I didn't trust her, because someone had been stealing packages. I almost forgot it was even there. I opened the app on my phone, scrolled back through the weekend. Saturday afternoon, there she was, on camera, laughing with Laura, holding my jacket up by the collar, snipping away like she was cutting coupons, tossing it on the floor, marching to the closet, dragging out my gear, cackling as she poured bleach straight into the boots like it was some kind of girls' night dare. Got it all. Time-stamped, clear as day. I packed the rest of my stuff, what little she hadn't trashed, and got the hell out. Thought that'd be the worst part of my day. It wasn't. That afternoon, I was called into my boss's office. He shut the door behind me and looked serious, but not angry. "You doing okay?" he asked. "Trying to," I said. He nodded. "Got something strange I need to ask you about. We received an email from your ex, from her work account." My stomach dropped. "She said you've been unstable," he continued, "and that she was afraid you might bring drama to the workplace. She didn't give details, just that we should be aware." I clenched my jaw. "You got a minute? I can explain exactly what's going on." I pulled out my phone, showed him the Facebook post, the one that started it all, showed him the messages, the screenshots, even pulled up the security footage with the bleach and the jacket. He watched in silence. When it ended, he leaned back in his chair and let out a long breath. "Damn," he said. "All right, forward me everything you've got. I'm looping in HR and legal." That email she sent crossed a line. I did exactly that. By Tuesday afternoon, she was suspended from her job pending a formal review. Not just for what she wrote about me, but for sending it from her company account on the clock, dragging personal drama into her employer's name like an amateur. I didn't smile when I heard. I didn't gloat. I just turned my phone over on my desk, went back to work, and let the silence speak for itself. I was eating lunch in the break room Tuesday when the text came in. It wasn't from April. It was from her friend Jess, the one who always laughed way too hard at April's jokes and reposted every one of her drama bait quotes like gospel. "You got her suspended? You're ruining her life." I stared at it for a second, then fired back. She did that herself. No follow-up, no apology, just silence after that. I finished my sandwich, tossed my trash, and made the call I'd been holding off on. Next morning, I was sitting in a law office downtown, going over a list of everything April had wrecked, down to the last fishing lure. "Estimated damage?" the lawyer asked, flipping through the photos I'd brought. "About $2,000. Maybe more if I count the tools." He nodded. "We'll start with that." He drafted the letter that day. Formal demand for damages. $2,000. I signed it and watched as he hit send. Didn't take long for a reply. 2 days later, her side sent back some half-assed PDF with 5 lines of text. "My client denies wrongdoing. The items were abandoned. She assumed they were trash." I let out a sharp laugh reading it. She thought bleach belongs in boots and jackets grow in closets? My lawyer didn't flinch. "We'll handle it." He attached the footage from my security cam. April holding up the jacket, laughing, scissors in hand. Then the bleach, the tackle box. Her yelling, "This is what you get," like it was a revenge movie and not real life. We didn't even need to write a rebuttal. The video spoke louder than anything we could type. Next afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. I let it ring, then curiosity got the better of me and I picked up on the last buzz. "Hello. Hey, this is Rick, April's dad." I paused, caught off guard. He cleared his throat. "Look, I just saw the footage. Her mom showed me. We had no idea it was this bad. She told us a very different version." I didn't say anything. He continued, "We're embarrassed. We don't agree with how she handled it, and I want to do right by you. If you'll accept a payment, I'll cover it. We'd like to settle this privately and move on." I stayed quiet another beat, then said, "Yeah, that works." He thanked me and hung up. No excuses, no defending her, just a man doing what she should have done from the start. An hour later, the lawyer confirmed the transfer. Whole amount. No argument. Keith asked if I felt satisfied. Not really, but I felt done. And that was better. Thursday morning, I was halfway through a spreadsheet when I saw her through the glass wall of the front lobby. April. She was pacing, eyes red, hair thrown up like she hadn't slept. She still had on a blazer like she thought she could dress the damage away, but her makeup was streaked, and she was holding a Starbucks cup like it was the only thing keeping her upright. One of the receptionists came over, awkward. She says she needs to speak with you. Of course she does. I stood, walked out to the edge of the lobby, didn't even invite her in past the security badge door. She spun toward me the second she saw me. Please, can we talk? I just need to talk to you. I kept my tone low. We're done, April. There's nothing left to say. She started crying hard now. I didn't mean it. Any of it. I was mad and stupid, and I don't even know why I posted that stuff. I tilted my head. Oh, it was all just a joke, right? Sarcasm? Isn't that your brand? She wiped her face with her sleeve. I didn't think you'd actually leave. I thought you'd get over it. I thought we'd fight and then, I don't know. You didn't think at all, I said. She moved closer, hands shaking. We were good together. You know we were. I messed up. I was stressed. I wasn't myself. I kept my voice steady. Yeah, I wasn't myself either. But I still didn't pour bleach in your boots. She flinched. I can fix it, she whispered. We can go to therapy. I'll delete everything. Just please come home. I didn't blink. I didn't mean to leave either. Must have just been a joke, right? Her mouth dropped open. That's not fair. No, April. What's not fair is dragging my name, my job, my family through hell just because you got caught being disrespectful. Behind her, one of the security guards stepped forward. Big guy, nice enough, looked unsure if he should get involved yet. April noticed. She looked around the lobby, then back at me. I'm not leaving without you. You're not leaving with me either. She stepped forward again. Please, you love me. You know you do. I did. I nodded to the guard. Now you need to go. Security walked up slow, not aggressive, just enough to let her know the conversation was over. She froze, then backed away, tears still falling. You're a monster, she said under her breath. You ruined my life for clout. Good luck selling that story, I said. By the time they walked her out, half the office was pretending not to watch. The rest of the day I stayed off socials. Didn't check anything. But by the time I got home, my group chat with Keith and Joel was already popping off. April had gone full digital meltdown again. Stories, posts, a video rant crying in her car. He destroyed me for attention. He made me look crazy. He turned everyone against me. Only now, no one was sharing it. The comments were mostly quiet. A few people liked it. One or two offered hearts. But most, nothing. The likes were drying up. The fake sympathy crowd had moved on. I shut my phone off and left it on the nightstand. Didn't even care what she said anymore. She'd already said enough. A week later, I got a text from an unknown number. How did you survive living with her? Took me a second to realize who it was. Her old influencer bestie, Carly or something with a fake I. The one who used to hype every post April made like it was gospel. I heard she moved into the apartment after I left. Apparently, she moved out 4 days later. No response from me. I just blocked the number and kept it pushing. By then, word had already gotten around that April got canned for good. HR at her job finally dug into her screen time and found she'd been spending half her shifts posting, messaging, editing stories. Her suspension turned permanent. She tried to spin it, obviously. Now she was a healing coach. Posted some crying selfie followed by a long caption about growth and cutting off toxic men who don't support powerful women on a journey. She never used my name, but she didn't have to. Every post now had the same playbook. My narcissistic ex tried to dim my light, or reclaiming my peace from emotional manipulation. The captions were exhausting, and the likes, a fraction of what they used to be. Meanwhile, I was living in a new one-bedroom 10 minutes from work. No drama, no noise. Just me, my couch, and a working coffee machine. Keith got me into his rec football league. Nothing serious, just weekend games and beers after. Felt good to be around people who didn't suck the air out of the room. And yeah, there was this girl I met at the cabin. She was Joel's cousin, just visiting that weekend. We'd messaged a couple times. Nothing serious. No pressure. Just easy. And that was all I wanted. No games. No pretending. Just life how it was supposed to feel. Simple. Lesson learned. When someone's willing to clown you online while you're sitting in the next room trying to take them out for the night, believe them. Believe them the first time. Some people will call that boring. Call it predictable. But me, I call it peaceful. And I'm finally good with that.